you know, here you are in the right place, because only in the little region of Tuscany there are about 80,000 different kinds of wine that are made here, you know. So you've got a very large choice. Maybe not enough time today to try all of them, but well, you can try to do your best. You are on holiday. To pay attention, I mean, you better don't buy from the illegal sellers. The illegal sellers are those guys, most of them are from Africa. They're good people, but what they're doing is illegal because they sell fakes. And anyway, they sell goods without a license, without paying taxes. And of course, this is illegal. And you better don't buy from these guys, because if you do it and the police comes, then you risk to take a ticket. So that, for example, a fake Gucci bag then could cost you up to 1,000 euros. Then you better buy the real one. And yes, you recognize the illegal sellers because they don't have any stand. They put the goods on the ground or they walk around, you know, with their goods, so that they can also run away, disappear in case the police comes. If you see these stands instead on the street, they're authorized. They don't sell fakes, they pay all taxes, they have a license, they cannot disappear if the police comes. In between 1288 and 1333, designed by an architect called Arnolfo di Cambio. And you will notice during our tour that most of the big buildings that we're gonna touch were built in the same period, so at the end of the 1200. Because at that time, Florence became one of the largest cities of Europe. Yeah, the population increased a lot because of the good economy. Most of people here made their money with textile industry. So they imported wool or silk from Holland or France. They worked these products in the beautiful workshops here, and they produced beautiful fabrics that were exported all around Europe. So this is the way how many families started to make their money. And many poor people that lived in the countryside, they decided to move to the city center because they hoped to find here better jobs, better living conditions. So that's why the population increased so much that the city decided to build larger city walls, these ones, to protect the new districts that were born at that time. And take a look to the left and you see the beautiful city gate called Porta Romana, Roman door, because that's the way to Rome. So people had to go to Rome, had to get out through that gate, and then keep on straight that way, which is south, so to Roma. With the original wooden door that you've seen, it was closed, locked at night. And here we start our nice panoramic drive, yeah, on the top of the hill, through the residential area of Florence. So here on the way you can see the most beautiful houses and villas of Florence. This is the place where the richest Florentines live. To live in this area you must be millionaire. Not only because of the beauty of the houses, but also because of their special location. Because from here you're just 5 drive minutes, you know, from the city center. But at the same time it looks like being in the countryside. Because here is very green. This is the typical vegetation of the Tuscan countryside, and it's up on the hill. So soon you will see the wonderful view, you know, that these people can enjoy every day from the nice balconies, garden, which has always been in between the best hotels of Florence. Yes, in between 1865 and 1871, Florence was the capital city of Italy. And so at that time, you know, many works of restoration were done in the city to make it nicer or more functional. And also this street and the Piazzale Michelangelo were built in that period, so in the second half of the 1800s. The Piazzale Michelangelo was built as an homage to Michelangelo 4 centuries after his birth. And in fact, in the middle of the square, you will see a copy of the David, a bronze copy of the David. And around it, on the basement, there are 4 other statues, which are copies of other works by Michelangelo, which are here in Florence. Or a bigger city hall, or some new big churches in the new districts, and also, as you have heard, the larger city walls to protect the new parts of the city. And so in the Middle Ages, yes, so 12 and 1300, where most of the big buildings were built. And at that time, Florence was a republic. And take a look to the left, soon you start to see the center of Florence, there to the left. At that time, Florence was a republic, and the leaders of the republic, the priors, were elected in between the members of the guilds. The guilds were very important in the Middle Ages. They were associations of workers. Just to mention the most important ones, well, the guild of wool, of silk, of the merchants, of the lawyers, of the doctors, of the bankiers. And so to have the chance to be elected as prior, the leader of the republic, back in those days, you had to belong to one of these important guilds. And the guilds in the Middle Ages were also the ones who paid for the construction of the most important buildings. So most of the cathedral, which is the big church with the dome, and now you start to see the dome. Yeah, most of that big church was paid with the money of the Guild of Wool. Most of the baptistry, the building in front of the church, was paid with the money of the Guild of the Merchants, or first to stop, you know. Then you see the cathedral, the big church with the dome and the bell tower. The brown tower is instead part of the Palazzo Vecchio, the old palace, which is the city hall of Florence. And in a moment, if you take a look to the right, there on the top of the stairs, you see another beautiful church, the Church of San Miniato al Monte. And soon you see also the old bridge. Yeah, the only original bridge left. And you see also the remains of the city walls running up on the hill. So welcome to Florence. And you see very well from here which the highest buildings are. You see the dome of the church is the highest point. Second highest point is the tower of Palazzo Vecchio, and third highest building is the bell tower of the cathedral, yeah. And there you see the back side of the copy of David looking toward Florence. So from here Florence looks really like in a postcard. So very beautiful. And which are the first ones that were built here, because Florence was built, founded by the Romans in the year 59 BC. So it was built in the 1st century BC by the Romans. But during the centuries, the new buildings were built above the Roman remains, so that now they are under the ground. So we know what there is under the city center, but we cannot see these Roman buildings anymore. There are, for example, some works of excavation going on under Palazzo Vecchio to make possible, you know, to see some of these Roman buildings, but so far it's not possible. And here in a little bit we're gonna cross the Arno, as you know, the river, yeah, the same river that we see in Pisa actually. This is the biggest river of Tuscany.